On the 28th of June 2014, a Terraria animated series would begin. Being created by Element Animations, the first episode of the 11-part 3D animated series would go public. This series began 8 years ago, and Terraria's latest update was 1.2.4.1, and I'm gonna cover the series. The first episode begins in a tavern in what appears to be the Goblin Tinker, Demolitionist, the Pirate, Witch Doctor, and some golden armored guy, and... is that Sans? They sit and drink merrily until this happens.
Whoa! What was that?
The beast is attacking! Run!
It's the twins, and they've naturally spawned to attack this village.
I show you earthshake!
You spilled my soda! Now I'm gonna spill your tears!
I love that man and his funny jokes. And oh my god, what have they done to Squidward? While the group is battling the twins, we realize that Sans has crippling depression in this Undertale alternate universe.
I hate you. I hate me. I hate everything.
During the fight, the Goblin Tinkerer made something. But don't worry, we'll find out at the next episode, which is... oh, it's right now. Episode 2 begins straight off from the first episode with the Goblin Tinkerer shooting at his now known cannon to protect the golden guy. The cannonball sears the retinator, which is one of the two eyeballs' names, yes they have names, shut up, which causes the golden guy to accidentally separate the twins, killing the retinator in the process. This causes Spasmatism, yes that is its name, to run away in fear of dying, though it didn't even turn a day, what in the world. After this thing celebrates their victory, they get into an argument on who defeated the retinator. We begin to see more of Golden Guy's personality as he goes on to make his actions seem far greater than what actually happened to make himself look better.
The pleasure was all mine.
What? You didn't do anything! Didn't you see me take it out? I was like, what's-a? Yeah!
After this thing buys all of them a drink to cool everybody down, we begin to see that Golden Guy believes that he can take on the twins once more, after the rest of the group declined to join, showing that he's a deeply flawed person who thinks highly of himself to the point where he would take on the twins alone.
He says he doesn't want to be involved.
Fine, I can take it all on my own.
Nobody else in the cast seems to share this type of characteristic other than Golden Guy himself.
No,
oh.
I did it all on my own.
I think you'll find that I killed it.
So it appears that Goblin and Sans are self-centered blah blah blah, let me write that down. After this thing pleads for them to go defeat the twins again, because they will surely die or something boring like that, everybody accepts to go. But the pirate declines, but it was only after the old dude said that there was treasure there that the pirate suddenly became interested, and when the old dude gives the group the map, he's the first to grab it. This makes the pirate a deeply flawed character, blinded by greed, riches, and... oh.
Did he just say treasure?
I guess everybody's just greedy. Jesus Christ. Episode 3 begins in the forest in the middle of the day as a group of brave adventurers seek the twins for their slaughter. They make fun of how pirates can't read and manage to get a slime to face-hug Golden Guy after they had attempted to blow that slime away. Golden Guy keeps the slime as his pet, but it did not take long until the slime had stolen the map and ran away. Golden Guy is distraught, and honestly, this is one of the most depressing scenes in cinema history. While our group chases after the slime, Golden Guy is clinically depressed.
How could he just leave me like that? We'd known each other for so long.
The rest who was chasing the slime had found it, except it was in another group of slimes. Golden Guy kills a pink slime in front of the horde of green slimes. The swarm of green slimes prepare to attack, and as they do, the rest of the group leaves Golden Guy to fend for himself. This makes Golden Guy one of the most betrayed and depressing characters. Episode 4 begins with Golden Guy seemingly being captured by the green slimes. The main group finds a deep hole, and it's the first time where we actually can understand the Witch Doctor.
This thing is huge.
It
You're not funny.
It is when we find out that this is what the map is actually leading the group into. The group contemplates how to safely enter the hole, so they do the most logical thing anyone in that situation would do.
Work out how far it is by listening to the...
We are back to Golden Guy, and he meets King Slime without his crown. Oh, and as King Slime takes a sword from inside him, he then knights Golden Guy for an incomprehensible reason.
Yes?
While Golden Guy has the time of his life, the others stumble across a spider's nest, and honestly, I personally hate them. Episode 5 has a main group attempting to escape the spider's nest, and as they do, they are scared off by a massive spider and they fall deeper into the nest. We cut back to Golden Guy doing king stuff, and then we cut back to the main group being stuck in a web. It appears that they are about to be eaten by the spiders, and as they grow nearer, we then meet...
Hello. It appears you've been caught in one of our webs.
I'm so sorry, honey.
Get back in the corner, you filth!
Step on me. They are then freed by the husband spider, and they escape deeper into the cave looking for the treasure. And as they venture onward, they accidentally blow up the spider's nest, as the demolitionist had accidentally left a stick of dynamite in the nest by accident. The explosion gets Golden Guy to try and find his team. The main group finds the destination, but the only problem is that their treasure is right below them. Episode 6 begins with Golden Guy falling into the hole that the original cast had fallen into, like that one person from Undertale. I just can't put my finger on. Golden Guy stumbles across a dead skeleton. Wait, how is Sans alive, but this guy isn't? Better not to linger. Golden Guy opens a chest, and then we cut back to the original gang who had reached the treasure and is now debating who rightfully owns it, after finding the twins are regenerating. We cut back to Golden Guy, and holy shit, his inventory though. My real in-game inventory is like the back rooms. We find that Golden Guy had found demonite armor inside of a chest. A chest. He's using hacks, I swear. We cut back to the original group, and it appears that they are still debating whether who owns the treasure, and as they continue debating, they are found out by the twins. Episode 7 has the main group attempting to escape the twins. While they attempt to escape, actually, he's probably like Shadow Guy now. Anyways, he comes to save the main group, and he shows off his new developed swordsman skills, which they bring up, for Shadow Guy had barely even defended himself back in episode 1.
How ye be doing that, lad?
I have absolutely no idea.
Shadow Guy, in the midst of battle, calls upon his army of slimes to help aid this group. The demolitionist and pirate manage to get the twins low enough to the point where they become mechanical. The twins attack the two, but they are fought against by Shadow Guy. The Goblin Tinker had finished his cannon of sword, and the Goblin Tinker had sent packs of green slimes hurtling towards the twins with a ticking bomb inside of them. And in the saddest moment in cinema history, Shadow Guy had to watch his beloved pet, Slimy, get blown to bits as Slimy says their final words.
Slimy, no!
As the bomb explodes, all of the nearby enemies died, seeming like a hive mind of sort, with the twins being at the center of it. As the group enters the code into the treasure room, which Shadow Guy somehow guessed, we see the treasure was... Episode 8 has the main group realizing the quote-unquote treasure was the corruption, and the main group had just unleashed it into the world. They luckily find a magic mirror and escape the now corrupted slimes, retreating back into the village from where their adventure began. They even make a joke of how they are in 1080p instead of the yucky-ucky 720p.
Look! My muscles are cut in high definition!
Whoa! The magic mirror made us 1080-tastic! Check out these pixels!
Hello?
We then meet the engineer. Right afterwards, we then see the corruption corrupting bunnies and attacking the village, ending episode 8. Episode 9 begins with what appears to be the guide working as the, guide that is telling what is happening so far in the story, working as more like our narrator who only speaks in the intro starting from this episode. We see that Shadow... Actually, He's just like Guy now. Well, Guy is being used as bait for a trap that is used for the infected bunnies. The mechanism appeared to trap the corrupted bunnies and hold them still, as another mechanism would set off, making a boulder crush them. The trap was not effective and only killed a minority of the bunnies. We cut to the Tinker as the engineer runs into the house seeking refuge from the corrupted bunnies. This is where we find out of the name of the engineer, as the Tinkerer calls her Amy. They kick one infected rabbit out of the house, and it appears that the Tinker and Amy are meant to look like love interests to each other. The witch doctor does magic, and it appears that Sans and Guy appear to be using carrots to test out new traps. This new trap appears to explode on anything it comes in contact with. We are back to Amy and the Tinkerer, and it appears that Amy is trying to get at it with the Tinkerer. My man. Demolitionist comes into the room discussing about the traps that the group has been using, and Amy feels betrayed for she thought that they were using her traps, but instead they were using the Demolitionist's traps. Episode 10 has the Tinkerer placing the Demolitionist bombs out with Amy's traps, so if she succeeds with her traps, she gets the credit and hopefully mends his relationship with her. Amy comes up to the traps that the Tinkerer had just replaced, and she sabotages them just to get back at the Tinkerer and Demolitionist. She then finds out that the Tinkerer had replaced the traps and she had just sabotaged herself, and in a fit of rage, she exits the room. The Tinker had attempted to gain Amy's forgiveness, but she hates him now, and in failure he walks away, but then he meets a clown who then attacks him, ending the episode with the guy talking towards the audience again. Episode 11 doesn't begin with the guide talking to us, as the guide sends a fake bomb towards the cast. While outside, Sans is spat on by an eater of souls, showing the major spread of the corruption. We then see the Tinker setting up a contraption, making jokes to himself cause he's that lonely. The main cast is attacked by a ghostly figure, and for the first time in 11 episodes. 11. There's a proper fight scene, as far as a proper fight scene under 10 seconds can get. This shows the growth of Wait. Wasn't he, like, not wearing shadow armor like 2 episodes ago? Anyways, Shadow Guy appears to have grown as a character, seemingly more experienced with swords. As beta again, Shadow Guy is luring away the clown to the trap Tinker had set, except he had failed at running, because he was running at the opposite direction that the trap was at and luring the clown away from the trap. Most of the crew, like the pirate, witch doctor, demolitionist, and the trap of Amy's that the Tinker had set up, had destroyed the clown. The group had informed Amy of the Tinker's doings for her. Even though he had essentially saved the town, Tinker had ran away expecting Amy to stay angry at him. The episode ends with an anonymous person asking the Tinker for help as the video ends. This Terraria series was last updated on the 13th of November 2015, and we never find out the rest of the story, so we are left with this cliffhanger. Even though this tale has finished, we can make out that the Goblin Army have been observing the Tinkerer for a while, as they stated. And even though there wasn't any official main character, Shadow Guy was definitely one of the most realized characters in this children's animated series. For he genuinely grows as a character, learning to be more fully realized as a swordsman, as he had tried to in the beginning episodes. Other than Shadow Guy, Tinker had been set out to be somebody who would have more meaning into the story, except the series has been dead for years. The Tinker had been set out to look like somebody who would eventually turn against the cast, as in the original Terraria base game, the Goblin Army is a formidable force that would attack the player and their citizens. Tinker was probably going to turn against the cast, as he'd already thought that the group was not going to accept him again. If Tinker had joined the Goblin Army, he would most likely have been used for reforging tools, exactly how he is in the base game. This would have set Tinker as a villain, or at least an accomplice for the said villains, as he leaves his group of friends thinking they have discarded him after he betrayed one of his friends' trust.